In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to do the Heartfelt stitch for my Heartfelt scarf pattern, which is linked in the descriptions below. It's a fairly easy 4-row repeated pattern which gives you these beautiful little heart motifs in little blocks, and it's just a really lovely pattern. So let's have a look at the tutorial. So for this tutorial I'm using a DK yarn. I believe this is Stylecraft Rose. I have a 4mm crochet hook. You can use any size yarn with the corresponding hook that's recommended on the yarn label. I have scissors to cut off my ends, needle to sew in my ends, and a stitch marker just in case I need one throughout the project, but it's not essential. So we're going to start off by making a slip knot. You can do this in whichever way you prefer. And we're going to be making a foundation chain. Now a foundation chain needs to be made in multiples of 9 plus an extra 8 chains at the end. So I'm going to do 3 multiples of 9, so that's going to be 27 chains plus my extra 8. So I yarn over, pull through the slip knot, and that's 1 chain, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So pause the video now whilst you make your foundation chain in whichever length you would like, as long as it's multiples of 9 plus the extra 8 at the end, and I will see you in a moment. 7 and 8. So I've just done my 8 chains for turning. So we're going to start off by making a treble. That's UK terminology. In US terminology that would be a double crochet. So we're going to be making a treble crochet in the 8th chain from the hook. So you don't count the one on the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in there we're going to do a treble. So we yarn over, insert into the chain, yarn over, pull back through. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and we've made our first treble. So part of this 8 chain will be an extra bit along the bottom plus the turning chain plus a couple of stitches for the gap, and you'll see how that works as we go through the pattern. So next we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to skip the next 2 chains, 1, 2, and in the 3rd chain we're going to do a treble. So we yarn over, insert into that 3rd chain, yarn over, pull back through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 2, 1, 2, skip the next 2 chains. Remember we've worked into that one, so 1, 2, working into the next chain, again going in with a treble, and then chaining 2. And we're going to work that way all the way to the end of the row, and we will end up with the last stitch is going to have a treble in that chain. Okay, so pause the video now and I'll meet you at the end of the row. So just come to the end of my row and I have 2 chains to skip and 1 chain to work into. If you don't have those 3 chains at the end, then you've miscounted somewhere, and it's worth going back and just checking where you may have made that mistake. In the very last chain we're going to do a treble. Remember that's UK terminology, it'd be a double in US. And we're going to turn our work. So we have the basis of our pattern. Now row 1 is a foundation row, it doesn't repeat, but rows 2 and 3, 4 and 5, so 2 to 5 are the repeated pattern. And we start row 2 by chaining 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that 5 chain, the first 3 chains count as your treble, and the next 2 chains count as the 2 chains that would be here. So you're making that square again. We're then going to do a treble in the top of the treble here. So you're sort of skipping 2 stitches here and then going into the very top of that treble. And we're going in with another treble. In the top of the next treble, we're going to do 4 trebles. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, so that's 1. Into the very same stitch, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2. That's 2 trebles, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2, that's 3, and then we can do our 4th treble. And that will be the bottom of the heart, this sort of V here. In the next stitch then we're going to do a treble in the top of the treble here. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, and we complete our treble there. We're now going to chain 2, and in the top of the next treble we're going to do a treble. In the next stitch, in the next treble, we're going to do 4 trebles again. So we do 1 and 2, oops, try that in again, and 3 and 4. Going to do a treble in the top of the next treble, going to chain 2, and we're going to do a treble in the top of the next treble. In the next treble we're going to do our 4, so you can see the pattern repeating there. So we're going to do our 4 trebles. So that's 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Going to do a treble in the top of the next treble, and then we're going to do our very last stitch into this turning chain here. So we have 2 chains that are for the bottom of the square, 1, 2, 3 chains for the height of the stitch, and then there's 2 chains there that are the 2 chains spaces. So if you're counting along from the top, 1, 2, 3 is where we're going to work our last treble. So we chain 2, and then 1, 2, 3 into the top of that 3rd chain. We're going to do our last treble, and that's row 2 completed. Going to turn our work, and we're going to chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and again on row 3 this is 3 chains for the height, 2 chains for the 2 chain space. So in the top of the next treble we're going to do a treble, then in the top of these stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4 from the previous 4 trebles together, we're going to do a treble in each. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and in the top of this treble we're going to do a treble. So there's sort of 6 stitches all together there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's the one from here, the one in each of those trebles, and the one from this treble here. Then going to chain 2, and we're going to repeat this section. So we're going to do a treble in the top of this treble, a treble in each of the 4 trebles from the previous row, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and then a treble in the top of this treble here. Chain 2, treble into this treble, 1 treble in each of the 4 from this cluster. So that's 1, 2, 3 and 4, double crochet into the last one. That gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and chain 2 for our chain space. And again we're going to be working into the 3rd chain along, so 1, 2, 3, going to be working in there with our treble, and there we have row 3 finished. For row 4 we're going to turn our work and we're going to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, that 3 chain is your treble and 2 chains for the 2 chain space. So this time we're going to work a treble decrease across the next 3 stitches. So to do that we're going to yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and we're going to leave that there. In the next stitch, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, you've got 4 loops on your hook there, yarn over, pull through 2, and we'll leave that there. Yarn over, insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull back through, yarn over through 2. Should have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 4 loops, and there we've done our decrease. We're now going to chain 2 to give us our 2 chain space, and we're going to do a treble decrease over the next 3 stitches. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, and leave that stitch there. Yarn over, insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull back through, you've got 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull back through 2 and leave the stitch there with 3 loops remaining. Yarn over, insert into the next stitch, yarn over and pull the loop back through, you have 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2, you should have 4 loops remaining, yarn over and pull through all 4 loops, and that's how we're getting the bump of the heart there at the top. Now we want to chain 3 because we're going over the 2 chain space, but we've also sort of pulled this stitch over, so we're going to need an extra one just to travel over to the next section. So 1, 2 and 3, and then we're going to work into the next stitches to bring these 3 together and then these 3 together. So we're going to do our treble decrease, so yarn over, insert into the first treble, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over through 2 and leave the stitch there. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops on your hook and leave them there. Yarn over, insert into the 3rd treble, yarn over and pull back through. You should have 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull back through 2, have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull back through all 4. Chain 2 to travel to the next set of trebles, and we're going to repeat that again in these 3 trebles here. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 and leave it there. Yarn over, insert into the next treble, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 and leave your stitch there. Yarn over, insert into the last treble, yarn over, pull back through, you've got 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, you have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops. And there we've completed the second heart. Chain 3 again for the 2 chain here plus the pull chain there, pull stitch, sorry. 1, 2, 3, and we repeat that process in the next heart. So pause the video now whilst you complete the end of your row, and I'll see you at the end of the row here. So I've completed my final heart. I'm going to chain 2. We're then going to crochet into the last stitch, if you like, so 1, 2, 3, skipping those 2 chains. We're going to work a treble as we did on the previous rows through that 3rd chain. So we're going to turn our work, and for row 5 we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, that 3 chain counts as a treble and the 2 chain counts as creating the 2 chain space. So we're going to be working into the tops of the heart and into the chain spaces for this row. So because that 3 chain counts, we don't work into that first stitch. So we're skipping the next 2 stitches because that's the 2 chain space, that's a worked stitch, and we're working into the top of where we did the treble decrease. So in there we're going in with the treble. Going to chain 2. Going to do a treble into the 2 chain space there. And if you look at where row 1 is, this treble here matches that treble there. So row 5 is very similar to row 1 in that it's setting you up for the next bit of the heart. Chain 2 and then work into the top of the next treble decrease. Chain 2, working in the top of the next decrease with a treble, chain 2, work into the 2 chain space with a treble, chain 2, work into the top of the decrease, chain 2, moving over to the next heart. So I'm going to work in the top of the decrease, chain 2, treble in the 2 chain space, chain 2, work in the top of the next decrease, chain 2, and we come to the end of our row, so we're going to work into that 3rd chain, so 1, 2, 3 with a treble to create the next chain space. So there's your pattern. As I said, rows 2, 3, 4 and 5 are the repeated pattern. So I'm going to work up another set of the pattern just so you can really see how it works. But these hearts are starting to look really lovely now. So I've just worked up another set of the pattern here for you to see how it looks. I've popped it on a black background because it's easier to actually see the pattern on the black background. So you've got these lovely little heart motifs. So for every multiple of 9 you do, you will get a heart. So I did 3 multiples of 9 and then I did my 8 extra chains at the end. So if you want 4 hearts in your row, you need to do 4 multiples of 9 and so on. Obviously you can keep going as much as you like. I think this would make a beautiful scarf. It's a nice light airy sort of texture to it. It'd be a great spring summer scarf. Could make it in cotton, would look nice. So that's how to do the heartfelt stitch. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help the algorithm show it to other crocheters. And if you would like to subscribe, please do. It is free to do so. I shall pop 2 more videos on the side of the screen to help you on your crochet journey, and I will see you over there. Thank you so much for joining me on this one, and happy hooking!